Minister Andre, thank you so much for joining us. What was your message to world leaders at UNGA 79?
We had several messages, all within the efforts of the multilateralism, mainly a message for our concerns regarding the peace in the world, regarding the need of justice, the need to reform the financial structures of the world, and of course our efforts for a sustainable use of the ocean and the environmental questions, deep concern on political developments in our region. So we need to raise the voice and bring the attention to the world that within the American continent there are still some serious concerns. For instance, Venezuela has provoked the migration of 8 million persons, which causes our countries to prepare themselves to receive that migration. We urge, of course, the countries to do more to pacify the armed conflicts in the Middle East, in Sudan, in many other regions of the world that are suffering because of the deaths caused by the war.
Migration is an issue that we spoke about a year ago. It's something that remains a serious topic, as you mentioned. How has your country been dealing with its resources to help all the people that travel through your country in transit?
We have two phenomena regarding migration. One is accepting migration. That's mainly from the northern border to Nicaragua. Nicaragua and Cuba send migrants to Costa Rica, and Costa Rica tries to absorb them and receive them. And the other one is the flow coming from Panama, which again comes from the southern part of the continent. There we have about 500,000 a year, between 1,000 and 4,000 a day, of all kinds of nationalities. 70% are from Venezuela, 10% from Colombia, 10% from Ecuador, 5% from Haiti, and then all other Middle East nationalities, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, and so on. With Panama, we have a humanitarian corridor agreed and implemented that takes care of the migration from the Darien jungle between Panama and Colombia all the way up through Panama, Costa Rica, to the Nicaraguan border. That's being well managed, to use the right word. You cannot stop migration. It's a natural phenomena of the humanity. Over thousands of years ago, the people migrate. But you can manage it. You can help them to migrate properly, regularly, in order, and in a humanitarian way. That's what we're doing. And when the matter is to absorb the population that wants to stay, of course it has a financial cost for the state, and that's where we ask for international financial support to cope with a challenge that was not caused by Costa Rica, but the cause is in other countries, the origin, and the destination is somewhere else. Most of them look for the U.S. border, and that's why we are a transit country.
Panama recently adopted a migration policy that includes deportation. Is that something Costa Rica has considered or will consider? And how are you talking constantly with your neighbors in the region to find solutions to this issue?
Yes, Panama has entered into agreement where the USA financially supports repatriation and or deportation. There's a difference. We're considering such a scheme of work, But initially, we want to concentrate it into convicted migrants. Part of the flow has persons that are being investigated judicially at their countries, not because of political crimes, but because of common crimes and terrorism and drug smuggling. Those we don't want in our country. So we would start by exploring to repatriate those persons, but of course that needs the acceptance of the recipient country and needs the acceptance of the transit country. In the case of intercontinental flights, the airports of transit will need to approve it. We will continue to explore that possibility because those are persons that will not contribute to our society. And then there is the voluntary repatriation. There are persons and families that reach Costa Rica and do not want to continue their way. They're tired or have decided otherwise. So they would like to be repatriated to their origin. Those would qualify for that program. And deportations would be applied only for persons that have been convicted and need to be repatriated to their country of origin.
You recently met with China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. Tell us a little bit about that meeting and the relationship your country has with China.
It's my second meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of China, Wang Yi, and we had a very productive and good meeting where we revised our 17-year history of relations, the full respect of Costa Rica towards the policy of one single China, and the commercial flows that derive from the free trade agreement that Costa Rica and China has, our wish to expand our products being exported to China, like pineapples, frozen pineapples, or melons, or other agricultural products that we need to export. We have enough. And we also took a look to the political relations and welcome very much the presence of China in Costa Rica, the efforts of improving the investments of Chinese companies doing business from Costa Rica to access many of the markets with which we have a free trade agreement. So the minister invited me to visit China next year. There will be a CELAC China meeting. CELAC is the meeting of Latin American countries that will have a summit in China. Of course, we will attend. And I reciprocated, of course, inviting him to visit Costa Rica again. He was there back in 2013 together with President Xi Jinping, and that's already more than 10 years ago.
Many people around the world know your country for its natural beauty and some of the products that you mentioned. Investment and trade, obviously something very important to you as well, and now you're getting a lot of attention for its friendliness to technology and innovation. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, the country has been historically developing clusters of investment. We turned from our agricultural exports into now high technology exports. 35% of our exports come from medical devices, believe it or not, but that's our strength there, with over 400 international companies doing business out of Costa Rica. The healthcare sector is very important in the country, medical devices, and slowly we want to move also into the semiconductors, chips production from Costa Rica. We're preparing ourselves for that.
One recent media report asked if Costa Rica is the next Silicon Valley of Latin America. I want to get your reaction to that.
Well, we would wish. I mean, to concentrate such companies, important companies in high technology with high added value, employing locals, talented locals, well-trained, with good salaries. That's the aim of any country, to as a mean to develop better standard of living of our people.
Foreign Minister Andre, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much.